Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, coming at you live on the 10th day of October, 2013. Going to go to Missouri and talk to Lorenzo about neck and back pain. Hey, Lorenzo, thanks for calling. You are live. Lorenzo.
Hello.
Hey, Lorenzo. You're live, buddy. How can I help?
All right. Hey, doctor. I'm so happy to talk to you. I'm really hoping you can help my wife and I out. We're going online today to start our longevity business and trying to get ourselves in some much better health. I wanted to tell you about my wife first, if I could.
Shoot.
Okay. She's 5'9". Her and I both are overweight. She's 315. She has carpal tunnel, and her knees are hurting her something awful. She has back pain from a fall. She has a bulging disc in her C5 and C6 in her neck. And we just need to know what to do for her to get her feeling better where she gets some sleep and isn't in pain all the time. And we definitely don't want to get her stuff fused in this surgery.
Well, is she due for surgery?
Well, we've been to the surgeon 3 times, and they've shown us the scans, and they're wanting to schedule it. And you know, I'm not liking the idea. We have a lady in our congregation that has had it done, and she's in severe pain all the time. And I'm thinking, you know,
yeah, well, you're right. I mean, if you listen to the first hour, at the end, we talked to Annetta from Connecticut. She's had 4 surgeries, 2 on her hip,
right.
1 on her, 2 on her back, I think, or something like that, and she's worse than she was before she started. You know, you can never unsurgery something. And sometimes surgery is necessary and effective and helpful, but even when surgery is necessary, effective, and helpful, it doesn't get to the root cause of the disease unless, of course, it's a bullet in your arm, and then that gets to the root cause of the disease. But surgery for arthritis has proven to not work. The Journal of the American Medical Association or the New England Journal of Medicine, I forget which one it was, published a study about 4 years ago. It says that knee replacement surgery doesn't work. At best, it's a temporary improvement. It does not get to the root cause of the disease. But, you know, orthopedic doctors are going to continue to cut and burn because that's what they've been trained to do. So my recommendation, if it's not life-threatening, is you give medical nutrition 90 days. You give medical nutrition 90 days, cancel surgery, delay surgery, put it off for 90 days, get on board with a medical nutrition strategy in order to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself, keep your fingers crossed, and see what happens, right? Because you've got nothing to lose. Because even if the condition is too far gone for the body to help, number one, I doubt that very much. But number two, even if surgery absolutely positively is indicated, it's going to be a million times easier for her to handle the stress of the surgery with a body that's completely nutrified. So, you know, this is like never fail fudge. It can't fail. It's either going to fix the problem so that she doesn't need the surgery, or it's going to strengthen her body so that it can handle the surgery and she'll come through it with flying colors, ostensibly. So the recommendation here for her would be 1 healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. So we do the plant-derived minerals, the selenium, and the healthy bone and joint pack, plus she and you and me and everyone else in the world would benefit from eliminating 10 foods. And to get that list, just go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. As soon as you log on to that website, a little box pops up that says, would you like to join Dr. Glidden's free newsletter? And if you say yes, give us your email address, which we keep in-house, by the way. We will direct you to a page on the website that you can download the list of the good food, bad food. And there's also a video there that explains why the grains are bad for you. So stop the 10 bad foods and hook your wife up with the healthy bone and joint pack, selenium, and the plant-derived minerals appropriate for body weight, and give it 90 days to work. 90 days to work. Now, part of the healthy bone and joint pack is a white liquid calcium called Beyond Osteo FX. I would like her to do 2 ounces of Beyond OsteoFX in 3 ounces of orange juice. 2 ounces of the Beyond OsteoFX in 3 ounces of orange juice immediately before bed. Immediately before bed. Does she have a blood sugar issue? Is she diabetic as well or not?
No, and as a matter of fact, it's crazy because her blood pressure is absolutely perfect all the time. She doesn't have a blood sugar issue, but she is, her heritage is deep German, and she is a farm girl. So she was, born and raised on the farm and throwing hay bales, and she's no little prom queen. She's a farm girl. So, but she's healthy other than the extra weight and the pain.
Well, she's not healthy because if she were healthy, she wouldn't have extra weight and she wouldn't have pain and she wouldn't have degenerative arthritic problems. I get what you're saying, though, but language is important. She is the opposite of health right now because of, the chronic bone and joint problems that are going on here. She's the opposite of health. So if she takes the white liquid calcium in orange juice before bed, she'll start sleeping like a baby, and that will go a long way towards increasing the healing because your body does the lion's share of its healing when you're asleep. And anything we can do to facilitate a natural sleep, not a forced drug-induced, narcotic sleep, but a normal natural sleep, the body heals that much faster. So this is a good program all around. The Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, selenium, and the plant minerals appropriate for body weight, and please have her eliminate the 10 bad foods. That's a good place for her to start, Lorenzo. How about you?
Okay, that's wonderful. Yeah, I printed out the 10 bad food list last week, and I've got it pinned to our refrigerator.
That makes you the smartest man in class.
Yeah, and I bought a Culligan water machine, and we're starting to drink filtered water instead of before. I heard a week ago, I think it was, you were talking about the distilled water wasn't good, and so we're switching to filtered water instead of distilled water. But as for me, I'm in quite a bit worse shape than she is. 2 years ago, I suffered an aortic dissection. It's the lining of my aorta tore away from the wall more than 10 inches down to my belly button. And I'm 6'2", I'm 418 pounds. My blood pressure is through the roof. I wear a clonidine patch every day of my life now. I'm on hydralazine, amlodipine, labetalol. I'm also on a water pill because my feet keep swelling up, and I'm just trying to survive, man. I'm just trying to live through it.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right, so from our point of view, right, dissecting aortic aneurysms are caused by a copper deficiency. That, the walls of the aorta, it's kind of like an onion. If you dissect the aorta, which is the big, for the listening audience, the aorta is the biggest blood vessel in the body, and it comes directly off of the heart, and it's the aorta that carries blood initially out of the heart so it goes everywhere in the body. Now, the walls of the aorta are like the ring. It's like an onion. You cut an onion in half. It's got rings and layers, right? And the different layers of the onion are all stuck together. Well, I don't know if you've ever kept an onion on the tabletop for too long. When it gets all dried out, the layers just start to naturally separate each from the other, right? But when the onion is healthy, not even the sharpest scalpel can separate the layers efficiently and effectively. Well, it's the same way with the aorta. When the aorta is fed nutritionally, the structural integrity remains intact and all of the layers of the aorta remain stuck together. But when the aorta starts running out of structural integrity nutrients, the walls, the layers start to separate each from the other, just like they do with a dried out onion. So the main nutrient at play here is copper, because your body needs copper to keep the walls of the artery stuck together, so to speak. Now, we don't just do copper supplementation. We do the 90 essential nutrients plus extra copper. And when you give extra copper, you have to give extra selenium because the two are in a nice balance to each other. So in order for you to support and promote the structure and function of your cardiovascular system, the recommendation would be 1 healthy brain and heart pack, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and enough extra selenium to give you, well, how much do you weigh?
I weighed in last week at 416.
Okay, so, in a perfect world, you'd do 4 healthy brain and heart packs. If you can't do that, do 3 healthy brain and heart packs. If you can't do that, do 2 healthy brain and heart packs and whatever. But you need 4 bottles of selenium a month. Regardless of how many healthy brain and heart packs you do, you need 4 bottles of selenium a month. 5 would be better, actually. 5 bottles of selenium a month because you're 400 pounds. Now, here's the deal, man. The swelling in your legs is caused by not enough protein in the blood. Not enough protein in the blood is caused by an inadequate digestion of protein, or you're simply not eating enough protein. One of the things that causes inadequate digestion of protein is not enough calcium. Not enough calcium is the same thing that causes high blood pressure. So you need calcium, baby. You need calcium. So, I don't know what your budget is, right? But here's what you could do. You could do 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 5 bottles of selenium and 2 bottles of Beyond OsteoFX. 2 bottles of Beyond OsteoFX. I'm sorry, I'm going to modify this. 2 bottles of Beyond OsteoFX. 3 bottles of selenium. 3 bottles of selenium and 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs, 3 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of Beyond OsteoFX a month. That's a very good place for you to start. Plus, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Now, be measuring your blood pressure on a regular basis, because if this program kicks in, when this program kicks in, your blood pressure is going to come down. You're going to have to reduce the blood pressure meds appropriately. Every 2 weeks, there should be slow and steady improvement, Lorenzo. Check it out. Take the ball and run with it, and give me a call back every couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. Welcome back, Longevity Nation. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, reminding you that only you can prevent allopathic reductionism. Going to go to Indiana and talk to Mike. Hey, Mike. Thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come in, Mike.
Doctor.
Hey, Mike. How are you, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Well, thank you. This is a first-time caller and listener. I got to tell you, Jim Geary out of Portage, Indiana, one of your representatives, turned me on, and I've learned more in the last hour and a half than I have probably my entire life.
Well, thanks for the positive strokes. I mean, the best is yet to come.
Exactly.
This is what we're up to, man. And this is why we have a job, because everybody needs to know this, and nobody does, and more's the pity, right?
Exactly. Well, listening to some of your stories, some of my issues seem a little trivial, but I'm going to throw a few things at you, and I want to get your opinion, and then I'll listen.
Good.
I have a little bit of high cholesterol. I've had it my whole life. The doctor had me on Crestor for a while and then put me on a generic, just a Pravastatin, I think it's what it's called. And that's how I got to talking to Jim. But more importantly, I have the grayish ring around my eyeball, the coloring part of my eye. I guess I don't know if that's the iris or whatever it is, but it's a gray ring around my brown part of my eye I was concerned about. And then also I have, they have me on Cymbalta for antidepressant and stress. And I'm really concerned about being on any medications at all at this point in my life. I'm 47 years old, out of Chesterton, Indiana. I've got 2 little girls, and I'd like to be around for them.
Well, the problem, of course, isn't being on prescription medication, because prescription medications will save your life when they're indicated. I mean, thank God for morphine, thank God for Novocaine, right? Thank God for penicillin.
Sure.
But the way that the MDs prescribe the drugs, 99.999% of the time, they prescribe the drugs not to fix anything but to manage things, and often they get the pathophysiology wrong, and so the drugs end up hurting you. For instance, they will tell you that heartburn is caused by too much stomach acid. They're wrong. heartburn is caused by not enough stomach acid. They will tell you that high blood pressure is genetic, and they're wrong. High blood pressure most of the time is a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. They will tell you that you need to keep your cholesterol levels low, and they're wrong. The research clearly indicates that high cholesterol levels are better than low cholesterol levels, and that there's no relationship between cholesterol and heart disease. It does not exist. It does not exist. I wrote extensively on this in my book. You might want to just go to Amazon.com, grab a copy of my book, or better yet, get it through my website.
Okay.
It's called Fire Your MD. It's called The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. But I talk extensively about this whole cholesterol thing. Now, it's interesting because cholesterol is extremely important to your body. 75% of your central nervous system, your nerves in your brain, are made from cholesterol. All right? That's what they're made from. All of your sex hormones, all of your stress hormones are made from cholesterol. Every single cell in your body has a wall around it which defines the border of the cell. The cell walls are made from cholesterol. Cholesterol is extremely important. Now, if you're taking a cholesterol-lowering statin drug, which you are, we could expect your central nervous system to become compromised because your central nervous system is made from cholesterol. And if there's not enough cholesterol level in the body, then you're out of luck and something's going to break. Now, the gray ring around the rim of the iris, that's from an iridology. There's a diagnostic science called iridology, where they look at different parts of the eye, and depending on how the part of the eye looks, that is a determination or a diagnostic pointer that, well, you know, you better look at the kidney. This guy has a problem with the kidney or the heart or the left lobe of the lung or whatever.
Okay.
A gray ring around the periphery of the iris is an indication that your neurological system is in trouble. It's your nerves, which would make sense to me if you've been on a cholesterol-lowering statin drug. So there are only two classifications of medication which we encourage people to flush down the toilet. Now, I can't prescribe drugs in Indiana, but I can in the great state of Washington. If you were my patient in Seattle, I would advise you to flush your Pravastatin down the toilet. But, of course, I can't do that because you're in Indiana. My recommendation to you is one healthy brain and heart pack.
Okay.
One healthy brain and heart pack and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One healthy brain and heart pack and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods.
Okay.
And don't be afraid of cholesterol. Eggs and butter, eggs and butter, eggs and butter, salt. Life is good. See how you feel in 4 weeks. It shouldn't take more than 4 weeks for this to kick in for you, Mike. Check it out. Call me back with an update. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We're going to California when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, coming at you live on the 10th day of October, 2013. Thanks so much for tuning in and turning on to Longevity. We are here to help you recover your health, and if you feel so inclined, get a leg up on your wealth as well. We're going to go to California right now and talk to Madrid from California about whooping cough. Hey, Madrid, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Thank you, Dr. Glidden. Listen, I'm out here spreading the 90 for Life message. Actually, Saturday I was with a group of people and just talking to them. Some of them, you know, had their ears closed, but a lot of them had their ears open. But anyway, I wore a little white jacket, and all these little kids came around to me, and they said, "Oh, you're a doctor. Are you a doctor?" And I said, "No." I said, "But I'm, you know, I work with a group of naturopathic doctors. We're spreading this message of good health." And they two of them said, "Well, we don't feel good." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that. What's wrong?" And they started sneezing, right? And I said, "Well, go over there to your mother and tell her you need to go home, you know." And and then I said, "No, come over here for a second." I said, "What's in your hand?" And they said, "Candy." Well, you know, I just went berserk. I said, "Candy?" And I told them what candy would do. And do you know what those kids did? They immediately took that candy and put it in the trash.
Come on.
I was like, wow, if I could talk to children and they get the message like 1, 2, 3, why can't we talk to adults?
Yeah, well, it's a point well taken, Madrid. It's a point well taken. And, you know, I think it's human nature. I mean, it has to be human nature. I think that there's two types of people that are in the world, if we needed to dial it down to the bare bones. People that are open-minded and people that are closed-minded. Most people who are closed-minded are closed-minded out of fear, that there's something that they're afraid of. They're living in a state of fear. God only knows why. People that are open-minded are not as much in a state of fear, and they have more respect for, you know, life, the universe, and everything. And kids tend to be not in fear, right? Kids tend to be not in fear. I mean, unless their parents are abusive or whatever. But so I think that that's why. But it underlines the point of what we do very nicely. And I mean, you really hit the nail on the head here better than anybody in a long time. This is why with longevity, in order to get one person to listen, we have to talk to 10 people. Right.
Well, I have a little situation, too, because they were sneezing all over me. I came home, and I've got something, and I'll tell you just tell me what I need to take. I'm taking the 90 nutrients. I'm taking the selenium. I'm taking the de-stress. But I still have this little lingering in my throat.
Okay, so you taking the killer biotic?
No, in fact, that's coming today. That's the only thing I'd ran out of.
Yeah, okay, so the killer biotic is the thing here. And as you know, a thing that I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from, and this really hasn't been a therapeutic that I've been involved with at all. I mean, it's one of the few therapeutics that I haven't tried in my professional career is essential oils. And apparently, essential oil therapy for upper respiratory tract stuff is extremely efficient. It's extremely efficient. So if I were you, I'd go on to, your longevity support page or the Team Glidden page on Facebook and ask the question to the group, which essential oil is best for lung health, you know, when you think you have some type of an infection in the lung. It might be Ravensara oil.
That sounds familiar. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, now the commander taught us in the first part of this radio broadcast today that if you put 4 or 5 drops of Ravensara oil in colloidal silver, 3 ounces of colloidal silver.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you spray that, it's extremely effective. So that's what I would do. But the killer biotic seems to be the thing here, in addition to the other 90 essential nutrients. And, good for you for taking a step outside. And, I think there's wisdom in the approach towards bringing this to the younger generation.
Right.
The only problem with that is we have to go through the parents in order to do that, and the parents are the ones that are closed-minded. So I don't know, maybe you need to produce a cartoon for kids about longevity. Sound good?
That's a good idea. Thank you so much.
All right, Madrid, keep up the good work. Thanks so much. From California to Arkansas, how about that? That's how we roll right here on Fire Your MD Now. Going to talk to Denise about a diabetes question. Hey, Denise, thanks for calling. You are live.
Thank you. As I stated, the doctors told me that I was pre-diabetic and that because my mother and my grandmother had diabetes that I would automatically get it, so prepare for it basically. And recently I went through a lot of different things, and stress, of course, helped me along with making food my comfort, gain weight, and I've noticed my hair has thinned. And so I don't want to go down the path of, like my mom and my grandmother, and being on medicine for the rest of my life. I want to make changes now, so I want to know what should I do.
Well, this isn't genetic. The medical doctors are wrong. There's no gene that codes for type 2 diabetes. That's nonsense. I mean, that's nonsense. And what I would do is the next time a medical professional gives you a line like that, say, really, it's genetic? Well, we decoded the entire human genome, which we did about 7 years ago. Which gene is it, doctor? I'd like to know. Is it autosomal recessive? Is it sexually transmitted? I mean, which gene is it? I'd like to know, which gene is it? And then they'll back off of their position that it's genetic, and they'll say, well, we assume it's genetic, Huff and Puff, and we're not exactly sure which gene it is, Huff and Puff, and we don't know, Huff and Puff, just shut up and do what we say because we're the doctor and we're God. By the way, you know what the difference between a medical doctor and God is? God doesn't think he's a medical doctor. So, look, it's not genetic, it's nonsense. I don't care if everybody in every single generation of your life had this. These things are caused by nutrient deficiencies, period. And it's also got nothing to do with the stress of your life. One thing that the stress of life will do is it will, make you seek out comfort food more. And then you're going to gain weight, because the only thing that makes people gain weight is we eat too many calories, and the only reason we eat too many calories is because our body is nutritionally starved. So when your body is nutritionally starved, it makes you eat food in the desperate attempt to fill the nutrient tank up, but the food that you're eating doesn't have the nutrients in it. So you eat and 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 you eat, and you're still hungry. And then you get all stressed out on top of it, you eat more, and you're still hungry, and then you gain weight like a rock star. So, from our point of view, what's your nationality, by the way?
African American.
All right, so you should pick up a book. Go to Dr. Wallach's website, drjwallach.com, drjwallach.com, W-A-L-L-A-C-H. He wrote an excellent book called Black Gene Lies. It was commissioned by Creflo Dollar, by the way, because Dr. Wallach eliminated asthma in Creflo Dollar's daughter. Creflo Dollar's daughter was dying from asthma that was unresponsive to conventional medical treatment. She was dying. And Dr. Wallach put Creflo's daughter on a medical nutrition program, and she left the hospital, and a couple of months later the asthma was completely gone. It was remarkable. And Creflo Dollar was so beholden to Doc for saving the life of his child that he commissioned a book for Dr. Wallach to write that exposed the bald-faced lie that African Americans have crappier health because of a gene. It's not gene. It's not genetic. You have bad health because you have a bad doctor. It's food and nutrition or lack of nutrition that causes the problem inside the African American community, because African Americans as a group tend to eat more fried food than anybody else. It's just a cultural, historical thing. And fried food is filled with a nasty chemical that creates inflammation and cancer. So the more fried food you, me, or anybody else eats, the more trouble the body's going to have, and that adds up like the straws that broke the camel's back, and then it's game over. So I would get a copy of that book. It could be quite enlightening to you, and it may also help you to spread our message in the African American community just by passing the book around, because, the truth has a particular ring to it, and when you listen to the truth, when you hear the truth, it resonates inside of you, and people go, son of a gun, I didn't know that. That makes sense to me. Holy smokes, I've been played by the pharmaceutical industry for 100 years. Yeah, I'm going to give this nutritional stuff a try. Sign me up. And that's how we do it, just by disseminating the truth. So, from our point of view, what you need to do then is just fill your body's nutrient tank up, right? That's all you need to do. What's your current body weight?
Right now is 260, I'm sorry.
All right, so that would be a simple fix for you, Denise, to support and promote your body's ability to metabolize blood sugar efficiently. It would be 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. Now, I recommend everybody also take selenium, because selenium is such a potent anti-cancer mineral. So in a perfect world, right, you do 2 healthy blood sugar packs and 4 bottles of selenium a month, and that's it. And then if on top of that you eliminate the 10 bad foods that we recommend you eliminate, then life is good. And, if you have borderline blood sugar issues, then your mood's going to be affected, your sleep's going to be affected, your energy throughout the day is going to be affected, and it's probably things that you've just gotten used to when you thought it was just baked into the cake. So if you start this program, clean up your diet, take the nutritional supplements, you should pay attention to your mood and your energy and your appetite and your weight and everything, right? And not just what the blood sugar numbers say on the blood work, right? You want to pay attention to how you feel subjectively in your day-to-day life as you're moving down the nutritional support road. And once your energy gets better, once your sleep gets better, once your appetite gets better, once your weight gets better, I mean, it's only a matter of time until the blood sugar optimizes. So, 6 months from now, you'll go back to the knucklehead MD. He'll do more blood work, and he'll scratch his chin, and he'll look at you and say, son of a gun, your blood sugar's normal. It's fine. We're perfectly good. And, then they'll turn around and walk away and not give you any reason why the advice that they gave you 6 months ago was full of crap. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. Now, I hit the MDs hard because they deserve it. And also because they drew first blood. The MDs have gone out of their way to tell you and everybody else in the world that the chiropractors and the naturopaths are quacks. The MDs were found guilty in federal court of promoting a slander campaign against the chiropractors in order to pay the chiropractors $25 million in damages. Every single time the naturopaths try to get licensed and regulated in a different state so that members of that state can actually enjoy better health through medical insurance that covers naturopathic treatments, the MDs come out and say that we're quacks. So, if you find my tone against the MDs a little overbearing, it's rightly so, because they drew first blood, and I am not one to lie down and turn the other cheek. Thanks, Denise, for tuning in. My advice to you, fire your medical doctor now. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Feed your body the nutritional supplements it needs to maintain and optimize its health. Get the heck out of the way and let the healing begin. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, finishing out today's show. October 10th, 2013. Fire your MD now. Thanks so much to all of my callers today. Appreciate everything that you do because we are all in this together. And case in point, Team Glidden sent me a text at the break. Ancient Legacies Breath of Life and First Defense Blends are 2 bottles of essential oils that everyone should have in their medicine cabinet. So Breath of Life would be indicated to support and promote the structure and function of the lungs during lung infection. And First Defense is something that we use to not get sick in the first place. So, if you're a daycare owner and you're around 50 kids with drippy noses all day long in cold and flu season, it would be a good idea to use First Defense essential oil 3 or 4 times a day on your own body, as well, of course, as the Pure Works antibacterial foaming cleanser. It's simple stuff that we can do, ladies and gentlemen, in order to support and promote the structure and function of the body's ability to fix itself, right? To fix itself. Remember, we don't treat disease because, according to the Food and Drug Administration, the only thing that can treat disease is a drug. And if that does not infuriate you, I don't know what will. If you owned a water company and you put on the label of your bottled water treats dehydration, the Food and Drug Administration would close you down and throw you in jail for selling an illegal drug because, of course, the FDA has not approved the notion that water treats dehydration, and because the only thing that can treat any disease is a drug, if you put treats dehydration on your water bottle, you would be thrown in jail and your assets confiscated, and this in the United States of America in the year 2013. We do not have a free medical market here in the United States, folks. We do not. We do not have a free medical market in Canada. We do not have a free medical market in the European Union. We have pharmaceutical centrist medicine delivered by allopathic MDs who are trained to believe that once you're sick, you're screwed. Your body has no inherent healing ability, and that your only choice when you're sick is to let the MD exert a hostile takeover of the metabolism of your body with drugs and surgery. The intention is not to cure anything, but to manage symptoms with drugs and surgery. They can't even cure heartburn, can they? But they can manage it. They can't cure high blood pressure. They can manage it. They can't cure arthritis. They manage it, and so forth and so on. And the 2-hour doom, slowly do we go, while we follow the advice of the allopathically oriented pharmaceutical centrist MD. Their wheelhouse is trauma care and surgery. Surgery when it's necessary. Trauma care. You got a bullet in your arm. You got a bleeding artery. You got a triple compound fracture of your leg bone. That's their bailiwick. That's their wheelhouse. You get your leg blown off in Iraq. Heaven forbid, in Afghanistan. Heaven forbid. They can fix it. They're really good at that. But when it comes to chronic disease, you are literally taking your life into your own hands. Actually, you're taking your life out of your own hands and putting it into the hands of the MDs, who are the leading cause of death in the United States, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, and under whose tutelage chronic health has skyrocketed. Alzheimer's risen from obscurity to the 6th leading cause of death. Autism risen from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 50. Arthritis skyrocketing. Obesity, 1/3 of American adults are obese, and it's tripled in our childhood population in the last 30 years, while we have let the MDs drive the bus of medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, the medical system in the free world is not free, and it does not need to be upregulated, downregulated, tweaked, or massaged. It needs to be abandoned. Fire your MD now. Take your longevity nutritional supplements appropriate for your body weight. Eliminate the 10 bad foods and live long and prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, inviting you to my Insider webinar tonight. We're talking about calcium and the new longevity products that give your body adequate amounts of calcium, available only to insiders. Become a Dr. Glidden Insider. What are you waiting for? FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the Become an Insider button and join the revolution. Dr. Peter Glidden, God willing, back in the saddle tomorrow. Till then, live long and prosper.